Alright guys, decided to review the second season of Kakegurui. Just in case the anime might get a third season anytime soon, I'm glad I gave it another chance to entertain me, because the first season was a lot of fun. I was looking forward for more eccentric gambling.
Come on then, Itsuki. You should get your gambling freak on with me. Vengeance is mine!
Now this is a sequel to a perfectly contained and well structured first season, so I was expecting for it to be less engaging and also well written as before. I guess I was right, because this season definitely tries to up the stakes and make the story even more convoluted and complex, but fails to properly develop all its new characters and delivers a somewhat disappointing narrative.
But an outlander has arrived, disrupting this order, roiling the waters and upending the peaceful control we once had.
In the first entry, Yumeko managed to challenge and defeat all council members.
To hold an election now, when student council officers have been getting systematically trounced by Yumeko!
Except for Kirari, of course, who remains her elusive male rival.
Rather amusing. I do admit that you really are quite entertaining.
Now, however, the writers realized they had to add more opponents, because otherwise there were no other noteworthy adversary for Yumeko to face, and as a result, Kirari decided, for some weird reason, to put her council president position up for election.
I'm going to step down as president and will arrange an election to choose another one.
And invited all prominent representatives of her clan to join in and compete for the title.
Thus, the entire extended family tree. Together they are... the Momobami clan!
Now I have a bunch of new weird looking fellows who all have weird personalities, traits and secrets. Something I've noticed, and I'm sure it is clear to many by now, is that this anime has a weird girls-to-boy ratio. When it comes to the main characters, of course. We have quite a squirefest in Kakegurui.
Now that we've had this special moment together, I feel so much closer to you.
There's so many lesbos in this school that it kinda makes having boys around somehow pointless, if you ask me. Just make this a female private academy and get rid of all uninteresting male side characters. That brings me to Ryota. At first he was the official of water character who followed Yumeko around and served as a representative for the audience in this gamble-obsessed society. He even gets to have the last word by the end of the first season and manages to score a draw with Kirari.
My Ryota, you must choose with your own hand. Please.
Sadly, he does not manage to score with Yumeko or Mary. If you get what I mean. That would be a threesome I'd pay premium content to see. Alright, back to the lesbians. Well, it is kind of implied that Yumeko swings the other way, and she gets very touchy with Mary. They kind of work well with each other.
Hey! Stop it! I just want to say thanks. Because you were there with me, the game was so much more fun.
And have even trusted themselves to gamble as a team. So yeah, it'll be quite a romance story.
The values of our chips were magically switched. Funny how that works.
Started as rival, then became uncanny allies to mature into BFS, and then by the end of the show, even lovers. Either way, Yumeko either seizes Mary or Kirari. The latter is better, because Kirari is kinda related to her, so we get incest and lesbians. Huh.
I'll be using my chip to gamble with the president. Would you expect anything less?
This got our gambling freak on. You see, this whole anime is an excuse for weird faces and some moments where Yumeko gets horny.
It's your fault I'm in this situation. Don't be that way. Classmates are supposed to stick together, aren't they?
Kakegurui is not so much about the mind games and clever 4D chess strategies like in One Outs or Death Note. Here the accent falls on the eccentric personalities and the creative way they try to cheat and humiliate their opponent.
As nobody knows, this guillotine is specially designed to ensure fingers can't even get close to being severed.
It's not so much an anime about gambling, but more or less a psychological showdown between psychopaths.
Get ready, Yumeko. This time your life is on the line.
I wouldn't want to attend this academy. You can mess your whole life by hanging around the wrong people.
Yumeko, doesn't your last name also end in Bami? Do you know anything?
One loss in a card game in your whole life can be forfeit. Yu-Gi-Oh style, baby. Yu-Gi-Oh style. With Kakegurui is more about the spectacle and impressive visuals rather than the actual story or the world it tries to create. Even the game on itself relies heavily on characters colluding with each other or having ulterior motives for Yumeko to exploit and turn the tables on them. It feels kinda cheap to have such interesting ideas, and yet the answer lies in some trick or uncalculated decision they take during the game.
You mean you didn't think it was strange from the start? You did watch the dealer shuffle the cards, right? You never once wondered about her method?
I was hoping for Yumeko to outsmart and dominate her opponents by following the rules and by simply having a better strategy and evaluation of the situation. However, it is more about persuading the other players to mistrust their resolve and the exploitation of relationships and agreements between them. The second season relies even more on circumstances and chance rather than strategy and technique. The first season was not a gamble masterpiece either, but it at least tried to show how Yumeko could actually better understand and employ certain tactics to win an engagement, while in the second season she relies more and more on chance and the implication of other. The way characters interact with each other has always been the strength of the show, and now a trio feels weaker than ever. Mary does have her chance to shine as Yumeko gets poisoned before a game, and it is her who takes the lead in her place. This is as good of time as any to specify that I really like Mary Satome. She acts superior to others and gets visibly frustrated when she fails to gain the upper hand, but it's kinda cute how deep inside she is sensitive and kind.
And that very resolve is at the core of gambling.
Now maybe romancing her character a bit, because I think she's very hot, but I can look beyond her tough girl facade and see how cute she can be. I like how Kirari, twin sister, has now taken a liking to her.
No, wait. Vice President, is that you?
I mean, Mary has already been molested by the president in the first season.
I'll say this one more time. Mary, you will join the student council.
And now it's time for the whole family to join in the fun.
You've been glommed onto me all day!
But you promised me. You said that we'd both fight this election together.
When Mary gets her fair share of screen time in the second season, Ryota gets completely sidelined. No more heroic last words for him, I'm afraid. And it really shows how pathetic and pointless his whole character is. I mean, he's the only nice guy around who tries to be fair and show compassion in a world filled with unforgiving psychopaths. But still, I wish they would have given him more to do than sit around and look innocent. Here's one more character that I actually enjoy, namely Kaede. In the first season he was a pretty tough opponent to overcome.
I think you'll find propriety no longer exists in this school. You are closest to the president.
And upon his defeat, his hair turned white. Interesting flow events.
That's why you're fired.
But even so, he's the only guy around that I like in this female-dominated academy. He's lost his will to fight and needs Yumeko's persuasion to get back into the game and get his gambling freak on.
But it would be such a shame for me not to share it. Will you go down with me, Kaede? What do you say?
Maybe I just like his brooding, tormented personality, or it is kind of fun to see some dude actually be cool and manage to overpower their opponents. Speaking of dudes, the Momobame clan introduces their servant, who at the beginning does not participate in any gamble. He's presented as a wild card, someone who is unpredictable and whose motivations are unknown and mysterious. I don't like his addition to the show. He is a cooler, more sexy version of Ryota, as he also has displayed acts of compassion towards the less fortunate student from the academy.
It's Ray! Oh my gosh, so cool!
The Sakura society Kirari created is messed up. It revolves around the powerful terrorizing the weak and does not help develop productive behaviors for the world outside the academy. It is a personal playground, and I guess it is the main reason that makes Kirari a worthy antagonist in this anime.
A flower garden isolated from the rules of the world. The only absolute law is survival of the fittest, determined through gambling.
Back to the manservant. He even gets the spotlight in the last episode and becomes the unfortunate last opponent Yumeko has to face.
Keep it up, you'll sign your own death warrant. All I've done is shuffle a wild card into the deck, nothing more.
The whole gamble leads to a surprising and yet kinda dramatic reveal. Yep, it turns out Rei is actually a girl in disguise.
Wow, was that really?
I think she really looks like herself now.
A reverse trap, if you may. In my opinion, this reveal was improvised at the last minute. I mean, Rei has already changed his hairstyle and turned evil and handsome as he was controlling the game. Yeah, he already had a villain reveal. You didn't need to also turn him into a girl. Well, more pussy for me and for Yumeko.
Ray, reveal yourself to me!
So I guess it is a win situation by the end. Some things that I like was how devastating Midari was when she was confronted by the fact that Yumeko refused to even acknowledge her presence anymore.
Really? Come on, Yumeko, don't do this, please! Can't you just let it go? Yumeko!
It was kinda childish from Yumeko, but it was fun to see our pioneer-looking lady be actually frustrated by the lack of attention.
Awful pirate-looking bitch!
Who are you yelling at, Mary? You must be frustrated to be sneering at nobody like that.
Another character that thankfully gets a moment to shine is Yumemite. She's a school idol and convinces Yumeko to join her on stage, yet again, for a new concert. And this is why I like Yumeko. She's very talented and open for new experiences, even becoming an idol. Last guest I want to mention is Sayaka. She's the fangirl secretary of Kirari, who for some reason grabs Yumeko's boobs and challenges her to an absurd, dangerous gamble.
We'll be playing with our very lives.
Are you really serious about this?
She loses, of course, but she gets her face licked by Kirari. So I guess she kinda won as well?
I don't get you at all. You are the exact opposite of me.
Again, so much lesbian tension in the show. I definitely approve. I give the second season of Kakegurui a 7 out of 10. It's an enjoyable and engaging anime.
All right.